Over the last year, I have built a few portable solar generators, prime example being this one right here. But you can't really build anything this size. So let's see what this small and light VTOMAN Jump 600X power station can actually do, and would it be at all helpful if the power went out. What could you power with this? Now, of course, I will not be able to power any big critical loads in my house with this unit, but for example, I could easily power my entire work from home setup with this 48-inch display, a 14-inch MacBook Pro, and even my access point. I also have a couple things plugged in like a phone and an iPad, and this can easily power this for about 3 hours. It might be small, but it can actually deliver 600 watts of power continuously through the built-in inverter, as well as charge my phone, laptop, camera, and basically anything else thanks to the built-in USB ports. Is that survival? Well, not really, but it does mean that you can work uninterrupted in an emergency and not have to go back to the office, which is a bonus. And thanks to the LFP cells inside this unit, it can sit in your closet or even your car unused for months and then provide emergency power when needed. You can even run a small electrical heater off of this on a low setting for probably like half an hour or so. This is a pretty small one, which is what I wanted because I'm going to take it camping and things like that. But it does have basically 300 watt hours of energy storage. It has a 600 watt output, so the model is PB20. The battery type is lithium iron phosphate, which is my preferred battery type for these type of things. That means it will store really well and there's no danger of it catching fire, which is very important for me. It does have a DC input of 12 to 30 volts of 100 watts max, but of course you don't have to use solar or anything like that. It can just be a standard DC input. We also have AC output, so this is 2 receptacles totaling 600 watts, peak of 1200. And of course, this is pure sine wave, very important. We want to make sure this is high quality power that we're getting so we can power laptops and computers and electronics and things like that and not worry that it's gonna burn those things out. We have DC outputs, so we have a car charger, 12 volts at 10 amps, and it looks like we have a DC 5521, 2 of those at 12 volts and also 10 amps. And we have USB-C with tons of different configurations as well, so it will charge your laptop, for example, since this is 20 volts at 3 amps. And yeah, it's only 6 kilos or about 15 pounds. Obviously, this thing is meant for camping or portable outdoor power, and that's why you have this 12 volt DC socket and built-in 120 volt receptacles. You can plug in a portable fridge like this to keep your food and drinks cold while you are away from the grid. And this will power this fridge for 10 hours. And at the same time, you can charge your GoPro or your drone while you're out between adventures. It could also easily power lights and speakers to make your experience a lot more pleasant. Really well packed. Look at all that nice packaging in here. We got a couple of boxes. We have a bunch of stickers, so I'll put those on my toolbox. I kind of like when they include these stickers. And of course, we have the user manual. So in here, we have very similar information to what we saw on the outside of the box. Some of the product features here are just showing us what each port does. Always nice to see, so it's easier to identify. And this is how long it would actually take for it to charge. So with a solar panel, 3.5 to 4.5 hours. With a wall charger, 3 to 3.5 hours, and 12 volt from the car, 3 to 3.5 hours. So yeah, if we do have a solar panel, we will need the DC 5521 connector. Otherwise, yeah, some troubleshooting guides, and that's basically it. Let's see what we have in these boxes. All right, looks like we have a power adapter. So this is the 90 watt adapter, 24 volts at 3.75 amps max. A few more cables, so we have USB-A to USB Type-C and USB-C to USB-C. Car socket adapter, the power cable for the power supply. Cool. Of course, you have to be realistic with this unit. It is small and light and only has a 300 watt hour capacity, meaning it would only last 30 minutes at the highest output power of 600 watts. Yes, it can run 2 laptops, a large display, and a Wi-Fi access point for 3 hours, and run the mini fridge setup for over 10 hours, but you won't be camping with this for a few days straight without recharging. Luckily, you can charge this thing with pretty much anything that plugs into this. You can charge it from the wall, in the car, or from a portable and foldable solar panel. If your load would still exceed the 300 watt-hour capacity, you can get an extra battery and triple the storage amount, but that could get expensive. Let's just take a closer look at this unit. One thing that I didn't know this had is that it can jumpstart a car. Jumper cable capability, that's awesome. We have another connector on this side, AC receptacles right here, all our USB ports right there, and the DC output as well. And the only input is actually just right here, DC input. Of course, we can get different adapters for your solar and whatever else you want to use it to charge this unit. I really also like this handle, so it's easy to pick up. It's not very heavy. Let's check out this light. Oh, look at that. And this is using 2 watts. Much brighter, even more brighter, 10 watts. Ooh, flashing. Cool. Let's take a minute to discuss output and power limits of this device. To do so, I decided to run a torture test by plugging in this resistive heater, which will use about 650 watts of power continuously. I'm also charging my phone at the same time. As mentioned earlier, this unit is rated for 600 watts, so we are really pushing it hard and making it run at like 110% capacity. Let's see how long it will last. Of course, I didn't really have to do this test as the math is really easy here. The runtime will be battery capacity, which is 300 watt-hours, divided by the device power, which is about 650 watts. Which means if there were no inefficiencies, theoretically this would run for 27 minutes. Running this over the limit will not be efficient, but I think it shows what this unit can do and how robust it is. Anyway, I bring this up because if you'd like to see how long your devices or appliances would run, all you have to do is look at the power they will use. For example, a 50-watt LED light will run for almost 6 hours. A laptop that uses 60 watts on average will run for about 5 hours, and a 600-watt load will only run for under 30 minutes before the power station needs a recharge. If you're wondering, yes, you can charge this unit at the same time as powering other devices, as it has a pass-through built in. I have also tested overcurrent protection by running the heater on full, and it seems that the battery management system will temporarily allow higher current draw and then cut the power down to about 650 watts. There you have it. VTOMAN's built-in protection kicked in before it could fry itself. This works fine for resistive heater, but I wouldn't recommend plugging in any sensitive electronics that might draw over 600 watts, as the voltage may drop at those higher loads. Anyway, after using this VTOMAN Jump 600X for a few days, I can say that this may not be something I will be using daily, but I will have it fully charged and ready to go in emergencies, whenever we go camping, to the park, and every time we go on a road trip. I'll just have to get those jumper cables so I can start the car as well. I would say this is also a good way to get into backup and solar power. You can get a cheap solar panel on Facebook Marketplace and start generating free electricity on a device that has everything built in. So if you're looking for a portable, lightweight, versatile power station that can power your sensitive electronics when needed, I think this is a great choice, even if it has limited battery capacity. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Let me know what you would power with this VTOMAN Jump 600X, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!